divine moment there. All right, one more thing tonight. We've heard people say repeatedly today, this feels different. Now, initially, I wasn't as optimistic, I got to be honest, because we've seen this too many times before. There's the oppressive moment, outrage, and then out goes any opportunity for change because of some of the other distractions or opposing forces. But I realized asking if this is different or if there will be a drastic change puts it all on other people, the people protesting and those who might be at home silently looking for ways to contribute. I got my answer when I noticed I feel different. I've been empowered by the people who have shared their pain and fears with us during live interviews. The guy who sat silently in Lafayette Square, watching police and talking about the shame he felt for being black. Driving into work, seeing a white woman walking alone, leaving a protest, carrying her Black Lives Matter sign. My brothers, sisters, and allies who have been peacefully protesting in the rain and heat for days. Long lines during primary voting day in D.C. and the people who have been in this fight well before this moment. So what comes next and whether or not this is really different depends on how I respond. It depends on how you decide to show that Black Lives Matter.